Cool. So just to start, come on into any comfortable seat. And this seat can be cross-legged. You can be sitting your hips up onto a block or however you like, whatever feels right and good to you. Whatever makes you feel like you coming to have a seat. No, like specific shape to aspire to come into, just having a seat, and then maybe try to sit your spine up kind of tall. So even if you sit up on a couple of blocks, yeah, settle in and let the eyes close. Taking a big deep breath through your nose, open the mouth and just sigh it away. Begin to watch the breath. Let everything get really quiet here. And right here, give yourself permission to show up exactly as you are in this moment, on this day. Letting go of the idea of who or what or where you think you should be. And settling into the ease and sweetness that is just here. Draw your awareness down to the very base of your spine, down to your very tip of your tailbone. See if you can lengthen it down toward the floor just a little bit more. Notice how that adjusts into your pelvis. Draw the low belly in toward your spine, and then start to draw that awareness all the way up your spine. Watch that curve and just follow it along, all the way up through your neck, to the space right in the very center of your head behind your eyes. Soften your face and breathe in here. As you exhale, allow that awareness to travel down your spine all the way to the very base, the very tip of your tailbone. Follow the curve. And then again, taking the inhale to follow it up. And just continue like that on your own pace with your own rhythm. And just allow your awareness to settle at any point along that curve that is drawing you into it. Now we'll have a little bit of a different place that seems to beg for our attention a little more. The shoulders soften and relax away from the ears. Belly button again, commit to drawing in toward the spine. Lift the center of your heart. And whatever you have for your particular intention or mantra today, devote the next 3 breaths to that. For me, it is getting very simple, getting to the very root of the basics of what brings me to my mat. It comes back again and again to this, the spirit of myself that the practice continues to bring me back to in this super authentic way. It's not trying to be anything that it's not trying to fit into a shape that it isn't. It is simply becoming okay with what is. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Maybe it's similar to you. Maybe you have something else entirely. Take one more deep, full breath in, circling that. Open your mouth, let out a big sigh. Begin to flutter the eyes open. Gather the palms together in front of your heart, honoring the light deeper than yourself. We come together and honor the light within each other. Palms to the earth, committing to the practice just as it is. Start to make your way into your tabletop, hands and knees. Spreading the fingers really, really wide here. Whether you tuck the toes under or not is totally your choice. Begin moving through your cat and cow. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone. Exhale to tuck and round, initiating it from the very base of your spine and moving with your breath. Inhale, sway back cow. And exhale to your cat. Take lots more rounds here. Invite your organic, free form and intuitive movement. And then go ahead and spread your fingers even wider. Plant your palms more firmly as you tuck your toes. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Feel the chin draw toward your chest as you bend into one knee and then the other, lengthening through the spine and the neck. Feel the arms really strong here. They're not just holding you away from the floor. They are actively pressing into the floor to lift the tailbone higher. Feel the muscles wrap around the bones. Deep, full breath in. And let it go. Inhale, sweep the right leg high to the sky. And exhale, here we go. Coming into our pigeon pose, the beginning of the practice pigeon. So just notice how it feels coming into it. If it feels the same as it always does for you, then that's also information. If the body is like, man, I would like a little bit more stretching, or I would like a little bit more support here, give that to yourself. So maybe a block underneath your hip or a blanket underneath your forearms. Actively squeeze the muscles of your left glute and press the top of your left foot into the mat. Maybe you even lift the hips an inch off of the floor, and then exhale to settle in a little deeper. Ride the wave of your breath. Slow and steady. No expectations, nothing to force. you want to stay right here, you can. If you want to see or explore some other sensations, walk over toward your left a little, like you're taking your belly a little bit more toward that right foot, and lean into it. Just getting a little bit more toward the outer hip here. Still on your forearms. Notice if you are clenching your jaw or if you're letting the shoulders creep up to your ears. Can you allow them some space? And then we'll all come back to center. Come up onto your hands. Roll just a little bit over to the right, the outer right hip, and bend into your left knee. Right hand comes out at a diagonal so that the elbow between the hand, the right elbow, and the right knee would make one long line. And then start to open the chest here. Start to allow that left shoulder to open up to the sky. Feel that rotation in the thoracic spine. Send your left hand up and breathe in deeply. Exhale, big, gigantic circle with that left arm. Try to keep the chest open. Going in one direction, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then switch and go the opposite direction. Notice what you notice. Continue the breath steady and full. Keep pressing into that right elbow, shoulder away from the ear, and then come all the way up. Left leg is going to sweep around, Janu Shirshasana. Your right sole of your foot comes to the inside. I'm going to just turn to face you. Sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. This is where your strap is going to be nice and helpful here. Taking it around the front of your foot. Maybe a strap is, maybe you can reach your foot and it feels nice that way. You can do that too. But try to keep nice and long in the front body. Try to square your hips and then let the heart lean toward your left toes. Shoulders rolling back and away from the ears. Steady the breath. Good. On your next inhale, lengthen the spine like you're doing a halfway lift. And then release. Right knee comes on up. Let it hug to your chest. Fingertips reach forward. I'm going to just turn to the side so you can see a little bit again. And then take the hands up. Shoulders dropping away from the ears. There's a lot happening here to kind of keep your legs pulling in. So feel that low belly scoop in and up. It's your Mula Bandha working. Flex into your left foot. And you can stay right here. Feel the sensation radiating all the way up the length of your spine. You can add a little bit of intensity by hovering the left heel. Dual the low belly in and up. Steady with your breath. Soften the shoulders. And as you release, both feet cross over. Make your way to downward facing dog. Second time here. Move in any way that feels necessary and right for you. We'll move into the left side. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Exhale, setting up your pigeon on this side. Left knee behind the left wrist. Use your right toes to draw that right leg long behind you. And again, just notice. Now, what elements of this shape might feel new in your body without having exhausted your body to get into this. You know, still having some resistance. Is it coming from your mind or is it coming from the body? As you lower yourself down and settle in, using your breath to go deeper. Again, that other option of walking your elbows over to the right so that you can hover a little bit more over your left foot. It's just a different sensation. You don't have to try it, but if you do and you like it, wonder why. Check into that. And as we come on back to center, creating that line from your left knee, left elbow, left hand, bending into that right knee. And then that right hand comes straight up to the sky. So you're opening your chest, right shoulder reaches up, and then the right hand. Notice if you're dipping into your left shoulder here, can you create more space? And take those big sweeping circles here. Two or three times in one direction, and then we'll switch it up. And both hands down. Sweeping the right leg out in front this time, Janu-Sirsasana. Using your strap if you like, take it around the ball of that right foot. Sit up nice and tall. Really nice. Yeah, shoulders away from the ears, belly in toward the spine. Loosen your jaw and fold in on the exhale. Really considering these stretches a little bit more like yin postures, sort of coming into them without first, warming up and exhausting the body so that we release into them is a completely different element of the same postures. Really coming to your edge and breathing into it there. And then maybe it invites you deeper, but maybe not, and that's okay too. Adding in that same awareness of, what happens if I just activate this one muscle, right? Like if in this shape, your hamstrings feel nice and tight, then squeeze your quads. And then as you release your quads, hamstrings release a little more. And slowly release. Left knee hugs in and up. And again, this is a ton of action going on just right here to hug it in without having to hold it with your arms, just using the muscles of the body. Take the hands up. You might stay right here. You might hover that right foot up. Steady, 2 more breaths. Slow in. Slow out. And then we'll slowly begin to cross over the ankles. Step back to downward facing dog. And take any movement here that feels, like it would support you. Could be totally intuitive, free form. Really nice, yes. And we'll take a few little spinal waves here. Just come high onto the toes. Allow the tailbone to tip down toward the heels. Navel to spine, roll forward to plank. And then shift the hips back with bent knees. Press them on up. Good, tucking the tailbone, roll forward. Hovering the knees, rock the hips back and up. Take one more just like that, moving as fluid as you can. And then we'll begin to walk the feet toward the top of the mat. Ragdoll here, feet are hip distance apart or a little bit wider. Grab hold of opposite elbows. Sway gently from side to side. You can bend your knees as much as you like here. Just let yourself spill over and out. All that you are right here and now. Release your fingertips to the earth. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer together. We'll take an inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Fingertips can come to your shins or blocks. Nice and long. Exhale, soften the knees and fold it in. Two more just like that with your own pace. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, your breath takes you down. One more, inhale. And exhale. Then deeply into your knees. And then slowly come all the way up to stand, stacking knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, and ears over shoulders. Arms reach up overhead, look up toward the palms. And exhale, thumbs together right in front of your heart. Open the eyes. Soften your gaze and set your drishti. Come back into that long, steady breath in and out. Perhaps cultivating your ujjayi breath with a slight constriction in the back of your throat, creating more heat and structure in your low belly. Soften the arms down by your sides, standing strong in your own power, your own space. Root down through your heels and lift up through your crown. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, soften the knees, hinge at your hips, fold forward, nice and slow. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step on back to plank pose here. You can always lower your knees, even if you are like a chaturanga, like total hugest fan ever, you can still lower your knees and still play. Dig into all 10 fingertips, soften the heart toward the front edge of the mat, and then slowly let the elbows graze the side of your ribs as you lower your whole self to the mat. Untuck the toes, hands stay where they are. As you press the tops of the feet into the mat, press the tailbone down toward the heels and shine the heart as you lift it up, little baby cobra here. Use your exhale to come down nice and slow. Take the hands just outside the mat, elbows bend up toward the sky. You can have your chin on the mat if you like. Go ahead and take your forehead down if you want more space in the length of your neck. Your choice, you choose. As you press into the tops of your feet, let that ripple the spine all the way up, pressing high and wide, cobra. And exhale, slowly come down. Let the head come down last. Two more just like that with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale. Take your breath in. And your breath out. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck your toes under. Nice and strong. Press up to your plank pose. Shoulders plug into their sockets. Nice long neck. Strong legs. Strong glutes. Press it on up. Downward facing dog. Breathing in fully. Right here and now. Open the mouth. Let it out. Release. Inhale, sweep the right leg high to the sky. Keep the hips and the shoulders square to the mat and each other. And just where you are here, keeping everything just as it is except the right leg. Bend the right knee, open the hip. Try to keep your shoulders both squared to the mat here. Breathe in. Maybe even shake the head yes and no. And now slowly step the right foot to the very top of your mat. Lower your left knee and untuck your toes. Take your time getting there. Set it up just right. Hands might be on blocks. They might just be up on your fingertips here as you roll the shoulders back and away from the ears. Press into the top of your left foot. Sweep the hands forward to come on up. Notice what's going on in your low back here. Can you press more into that right foot to give you a little bit more space in the pelvis? Lengthen the tailbone down. Really nice. Soften the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Maybe even lift the gaze. As you exhale, cactus the arms. Open the heart. Good. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, rock your hips back. Half split here. Toes roll up toward the sky. Both hips moving back in space equally. Shoulders open. Or I should say chest is open. Shoulders are back and away from the ears. Blocks would be great here. Where are my blocks actually? Yes, blocks are great here. You know, it's like one of those things where you're like, but I'm already in the pose and I'm in the flow, but I need my blocks. So you know what? Get out of the flow, get your blocks, right? So now we have lots more space to really breathe and explore. Can you sense the space between your toes of the right foot? Can you feel the breeze there? Can you steady your breath now? And then we'll just gently start to rock it forward. And maybe rock it back. Just start to get into a little bit of a back and forth motion here. We don't need a ton of times back and forth, just a few, maybe 2 or 3. And then we'll take the hands just forward, tuck the left toes, and step up to fold it in at the top of your mat. Big exhale, let it all go. Inhale, find your flat back. Exhale and fold. Get your weight heavy in your heels. Again, stacking knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, and the ears lastly lift up and back. Breathe fully in. Open the mouth, let it all go. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold it down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, find your plank pose. Again, knees up or down, you choose. Whatever you're doing, you're really trying to make sure that you're not over-doming your upper back. Take that slow lower down on your own. Let those elbows really just graze the side of your ribs. Beautiful. Open the heart. Your choice of cobra. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog, passing either through plank or table. Breathing fully in. Open the mouth, let it go. Left leg high on your breath in, sweep it up. Again, press both hands in, press both shoulders nice and long, strong, holding you up. And then here, just bend into that left knee and open the hip. So really articulating exactly where the movement is coming from. What is guiding the rest of the body to take the added stuff out of it, you know? Take another breath where you are. And then exhale, step the left foot to the top of your mat. Right knee down, press the top of the right foot into the mat. Maybe you got your blocks, maybe you're really feeling lots of space. Shoulders away from ears. Left hip pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And rock the hips back, find that half split. Can you find just even the slightest bit of refinement in your shape? Nobody can see it, but you can feel it. You know it's there. You know what's happening. Just like you know when you're cutting a corner that maybe you could possibly avoid. Take one more breath here. And then we'll walk it back and forth. Keep the hips forward as you inhale to rise up with the hands. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Big inhale, maybe you lift the chin, open through the chest. Exhale, cactus the arms. Fingertips reach the earth, maybe they're on your blocks. Tuck the back toes and step up to fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Bending deeply into the knees, rise all the way up, reach the hands high. Exhale, cactus the arms here. Lengthen the tailbone down toward the heels. Open your eyes, soften your gaze. And let the hands come back behind your hips. Maybe you interlace the fingers here. Maybe you can grab hold of opposite elbows. There's many options here, and you can really take any of them that feel the best for your chest, your shoulders. As you interlace, try to keep drawing the palms toward each other and remove the flare from your ribs if that is happening. Lengthen the tailbone down, lengthen the front of your ribs down toward the front of your hips. Soften, open through the chest. Breathe in. Open the mouth, let it go. And now come onto your tippy toes here. Nice and slow. Keep everything simple and strong. If you are on carpet, this might be more difficult. Or if you have like a super thick cushiony mat, lift up through the crown of your head and think about lifting your pelvic floor. Notice how that stabilizes you. And slowly lower the heels, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward, spill it out. You can release the arms whenever it feels right to you. We will all meet you there in about 3 breaths. Allow the head to swivel here. Some yeses, some nos. And then all fingertips reach down toward the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, plank pose. Your breath in at the top. Your exhale maybe finds a chaturanga. Maybe it takes you all the way to the earth. You choose. Don't bow to anyone but yourself. As you come to the tops of your feet, you might come into an upward facing dog or your choice of cobra. Use your exhale to make your way to downward facing dog. Fully breathe in. Fully breathe out, really release here. Let go of that expectation, that rigid idea that you're supposed to be doing something or being something that you're not. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Option to bend the knee if you want. Maybe you can get a little funky with it. One more breath in. Exhale, step the right foot to the top of your mat. Left knee can stay lifted this time, or bring it on down if you want. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Keep pulling the right hip back, maybe even a little bend in the left knee to level out your pelvis. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Slightly lift the chin. Breathe slowly in. And as you exhale, cactus the arms. Release the hands back by your hips. They can stay just as they are or interlace through the fingers. Be where you want to be. And then take another breath in, open through the heart. As you exhale, bow forward. Think humble warrior, except the back heel is lifted. Trust your feet, trust your legs, trust your breath. We'll all begin to release the fingertips as they sweep forward. Come on back up, high crescent lunge. And exhale, spin the back heel down, open it into your warrior two. Steady your gaze and steady your focus here. Try to make a nice deep hip pocket with that right hip. Soften your shoulders. If it would feel nice, let your arms just kind of drop down, give it a little shake. And then reset them. Take a big inhale, flip the front palm, sweep it up to reverse. Go ahead and straighten that front leg. Release the length here. Big circle, that right hand starts to drop down toward the left. Make your way back to warrior two. Moving with the breath, inhale, take it up. And round it down back. Warrior two. Last one, inhale comes up. And as you come on through here, that right hand is going to make its way either to a block or to the floor. Sending the left toes up and back, standing half moon. Check your gaze and your focus. Notice what happens when you stop trying so hard. Where can you soften and allow the practice to feel like you just being in this shape? One more breath where you are. And as you exhale, left hand comes down slowly and mindfully. Start to close off your hips. So you're leveling them out. Left knee lines up with the right knee. Left foot lines up with the right foot. Sink the hips down. Reach the arms high. Chair pose. Breathe fully in. And fully out. Take your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. Your choice of flow here. Plank, knees down, chaturanga. Make your way to downward facing dog in a way that makes sense to you. Take 2 breaths to fully just be right here in your down dog. Wipe the slate clean, and then inhale, sweep the left leg up high. You've got an extra breath here to explore, maybe bending the knee and opening the hip, maybe getting kind of funky with it. And use your exhale to step that left foot forward. Unfurling your way up to the top. High crescent lunge. Maybe you're bending into that back knee to stabilize your hips. Soften through the shoulders. Really nice. Yeah, even soften down just a little bit more even. You could even take the arms even wider. Oh, yes. How much space that creates. Take another inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms, open through the heart. Hands back behind your hips. Your choice of grasp as you inhale to lift through the chest. And exhale, humble bow. Very, very slow, very, very watchful. Notice what you feel and where you feel it. Very slow, release your hands, sweep them forward, come on back up. Inhale. Exhale, spin, set back heel down, warrior two. Take your time to settle in here. Maybe dropping the arms, letting the shoulders shake out. Deepening your stance. Flip the front palm, inhale to reverse. Big circle, start to drop those left fingertips down and back to warrior two. Again, inhale, sweep it up. Maybe you're straightening that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale. And exhale, starting to travel now toward that half moon. You might shorten your stance. You might use a wall. You might use a block. You might just float your fingertips. I mean, the options are really quite endless. The secret of balance is to stop trying, right? There's a lot of core, there's a lot of effort, but there's also that stop trying so hard. Steady your breath. Stack your shoulders just a little bit more. And then slowly close it off. Right hand comes down, nice try. Making your way to that. Knees start to line up, feet start to line up, and then sink the hips down and back, chair pose. Rise up, inhale. Sink the hips down even more here. Take the fingertips forward. So the fingertips reaching forward and the hips sinking back, this is creating a counterbalance. Your gravity is getting lower. Draw the belly in. Create more space in your shoulders. Lower, lower, lower. Try to keep the heels grounded. And try to come all the way down very slow. Opening the soles of the feet toward each other, knees open wide. Take a bow forward. You can let this, especially if you want to round it forward and allow this big surrender to happen, slide the feet out further away from your hips. And you can allow that to become a little bit more rounded and less aware. Or I guess you're still pretty aware, you're just allowing different things to take the full. Good, and now find a little bit of spinal flexion. So start to lengthen the spine from the base all the way up. Inhale. Shoulders away from the ears. Long in the spine. And then exhale, bow in. Very slow and mindful. Watch your breath. Inhale to come in and up. Exhale to come down. Last one, inhale. Staying long here. Hands to the outside of your knees. Lean back. Keep this open front chest, front body. Knees together. Lift the feet off of the mat. Boat pose. So notice how this is kind of similar to what we started with when we were doing that from Janu Sirsasana of hovering just one foot. You could even play with that again here. Maybe switching between the two. Maybe trying to get both feet very high. Yeah. Another fun option is to take your peace fingers to your big toes. Keep the spine nice and long, and then try to slowly open your feet. It's called Upavista Konasana. Try to keep the shoulders back and away from the ears. This is upward facing wide leg pose. Not very clever with the names, but it's exactly what we're doing. Nice balance. See if you can sit up a little taller. Ooh. And then we're going to come through a flow through or to downward facing dog. You choose. Closing the legs, crossing over the ankles. I'm going to take one more pass through. Moving a little bit more with the breath. Adding a little bit more of your own flavor, your own spice. Take that big inhale in your down dog. Open the mouth and fully let it all go. Just no expectations. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Bending that knee. Take whatever you need here. Is it a wild thing? Is it a side plank? Returning to that three-legged dog. Exhale to step the right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the hands forward and up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Interlacing the fingers here. As you take your bow forward, you can bow just like we did before, or you can come into warrior three. Option to bow more and more forward for toppling tree. As you come on back up, plant the back foot down, open up warrior two. Here we are, there's 3 reverses. Inhale, straighten your front leg, sweep it up and back. Exhale, round it in. You can play along here, adding in anything else sometimes. I had a student the other day try coming into a side lunge to warrior two, very ninja style. And the next time we come through, take your half moon. Steady your breath, steady your mind. Very slowly, close it off, left hand down, square off your hips. And before you place your left foot on the floor, maybe try hovering it this time. Rounding your left knee in. Come to stand up, keeping that left foot up. Maybe you even stand all the way up and send it forward. Breathe fully in wherever you are. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, lower it down, take your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, take your flow. Full body breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, left leg high. Take what you need here. Bending the knee, maybe you stay right there. Maybe you come into a side plank or even wild thing. Really nice, very slow. Traveling that left foot to the very top of the mat. Rise up on your inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms. Hands back behind you, maybe they interlace. Open through the chest, and again, you choose. You just bow forward, keeping the feet grounded. Maybe you float the right toes off of the mat. Warrior three, or toppling tree. Slow return, right foot down and back. Opens up warrior two. Moving here again, just letting yourself enjoy the flow. Inhale, sweep it up. And round it forward. If you want to try that Skandasana add in here, it really just kind of surfs its way. And the next time you come forward, preparing for your half moon. Ground your standing foot. Beautiful. Where are you gripping too hard here? And with that mindful control, really nice. Yes, both hands down. Lining up your knees. Option to keep that right foot floating as you come all the way up. Maybe you come into chair. Maybe you're hovering that right leg. Wherever you are, take one more breath, lift and tall. And exhale, both feet ground, head to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Beautiful, exhale, fold. Take it all the way back to your downward facing dog. Take what you need along the way. Lovely. Inhale the right leg high. This is the last time we're doing the right leg high. Exhale, set up your pigeon pose. Notice what you notice right as you're coming into it. How does it feel compared to the first time we did it today? You know, funnily enough, my body needs more support at, after it's all warmed up. So if that's what's going on in your body, then give it what you need. If you're ready to lie on down, start to soften. Just becoming aware of everything going on within, observing it with calm, steady focus. Is the key to being able to handle everything outside of us. To wear life like a loose garment. To observe and respond rather than feel caught up with and reactionary. Let your exhales become longer. Let your heart soften. Last couple of breaths here. If you would like to open it up and take a quad stretch here, you're welcome to go ahead and walk up onto your hands. Bend into your left knee and reach for the foot. If you do come up like that, try to square your chest back toward the front of your mat. And then release without slingshotting. Take one more bow here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. And we'll all come up together. Rolling to the outside of the right hip. Bend into your left knee. And take both knees just up and over. Little windshield wipers here. And so from here, we're going to move into the pigeon on your left side. And if you would like to just come to the back of your mat and set it up this way, you're more than welcome. If you like to come back through your down dog and your three-legged dog, that's also an option for you. Just take everything that you need, the path that you have cleared your way and you're ready to move in that direction, then go there. Letting go of the expectations, letting go of the other side, being unrushed and unhurried, moving at your pace, your rhythm, your flow. Softening ever more, noticing what you notice, unclenching that rigid piece. You know exactly where it is. We all have it. That one place that just always wants to hold on. Is it your jaw or your neck or your belly? Your ankles. Slow and steady with the breath. And if you'd like to take the quad stretch option here, feel free to come on up. Otherwise, just stay nice and soft. I'll take one more bow as you release. And as you come up, roll to the outside of your left hip this time, knees up and over. Let it be lazy, let it be soft, let it feel really good, like a rinse, fresh water rinse. And from here, we're just gonna come onto our back. Try to make sure that you have your strap on your way there. And take your strap behind your neck. So you'll take it in one end in each hand. Take it right at the very base of your skull and start to draw up and away. Maybe even lifting your head, creating a little noose here, but the massage kind of noose, not the other kind of noose. Just gently tugging on one side and then the other, allowing the head to stay really, really heavy here. Like you're not doing any work with your head or your neck. Everything is being done by your hands, by your arms. Yeah. Yeah, and you could do this with a strap, you could do it with a shirt or anything really, just kind of giving that little bit of a massage in your length. Yeah, there you go, Brooks. So as you're pulling, you're just kind of letting it turn side to side. I don't know if any of you can get or have often gotten massages before, back in the days when we used to be able to touch other people. Um, this is kind of my favorite part of the massage, when they would come up toward the neck and just kind of pick up the head and allow it to move freely without the neck muscles feeling like they have to do things here. And you could even take the strap a little lower down your neck and kind of do a little side to side tug, just getting it, yeah, massaging those tighter muscles back there, especially if you spend a lot more time scrolling these days. You know, these tiny little muscles, they're having to carry so much. Hmm. When it feels good, you can release your strap. Take a bend into your knees, arms down by your hips, and start to set up here for bridge pose. And we're gonna do 3 rounds of bridge. If you sort of right out the gate know that you would prefer to take a restorative bridge and spend lots of time resting your hips on a block, please, go ahead and just slide it right under there for now and stick with it as long as you like. And for your first bridge, let the knees stay just as far away from each other as the feet are, which is about hip distance apart. Try to keep that integration of your inner thighs rolling in toward each other. Tuck the tailbone, slowly lift. Yeah. Come up just half an inch higher. Squeeze the glutes, soften the chest and the jaw. And then very, very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, slowly come on down. Let the tailbone be the very last thing that touches. Good. And now for the second round, you can do exactly that. You can come up a little higher if you like. Just being really mindful of the space in your throat. Like if it feels constricting or you feel like you can't breathe, then that's your body's way of saying, like, I need more space. Just come out of it just a little. Press the palms into the mat, the full length of your arms into the mat. Squeeze the glutes. Imagine you could be dragging your heels closer to your shoulders. Feel that turn on your hamstrings and your glutes a little more. And then let that exhale just very, very softly bring you on down. And for the last round, taking what you need, you can let the knees sort of swivel between here, side to side, if that would feel nice. And for your last round, you can come into your full wheel if you like, opening it up all the way. You can take your hands up over your shoulders, or take that second version again. Just move into it at your own time. And if you're in the second version with your arms down by your sides, maybe you kind of roll the shoulders underneath you one at a time and clasp the hands together underneath your hips. Again, still feeling lots and lots of space in the chest and the throat. Press into the heels. Lift the hips, and yes. Slow, like a deflating, balloon or a ball. Just let it come on down. Let the knees rock side to side. You can take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open wide in a Supta Baddha Konasana. If you have your hips still resting on a block, you can go ahead and lift and move the block from underneath and Allow the spine to know stillness from shoulders to hips. And moving towards Shavasana here, if there's any last couple of shapes that feel right and true to you, let yourself move into those. Happy baby is always a great one. Nice mild inversion to end practice with. Or move on into your Shavasana. And take your time settling in. Let yourself be as comfortable as you absolutely possibly can. Use any props that you enjoy. I'll let you know when we have just a few minutes left in case you would like to spend those last few moments in your quiet seat. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Softening heavier and heavier into the support beneath you, the support that was built just for you, exactly as you are and all that you are, everything that you've ever been and everything that you ever will be. No one is you, and that is your power. Take one last full body breath in here. Fill everything up. And open your mouth, let everything go. Let yourself be. If you would like to gently bring yourself out a few minutes early to rest in your quiet, seated meditation, feel free to begin deepening your breath now and make your way into a comfortable seat. Otherwise, please stay where you are. Relish in these last few moments of your peace and quiet. Allow the next 3 to 5 breaths that you take be very present, very intentional. Breathing in, I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am breathing out. Saying this to yourself allows us to anchor a little more deeply into this very present moment. As we start to gather the palms together in front of our hearts, we bow in deep gratitude for the wisdom of this practice and the community that we find it in. And in it we find ourselves. I thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your practice with me this evening. Have a wonderful night.